With Brad Sellers. So, Brad, you look at this Cavs team, a lot of energy. A lot of people are excited about this ball club. How do you see this team? Is this an elite team? Is this a championship caliber team?
Well, I think it has all the makings of being a very elite team. Last year, obviously, was a fantastic year for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But this year, having the ability to add a player like Donovan Mitchell to the cast of young players we have here gives this team character. Gives it, I think, the oomph that it needs to get over the hump. Now, this year is going to be a little different because I don't think we'll be able to surprise and walk up on anybody. Everybody's going to expect us to come in the building. That's why you needed a guy like Donovan Mitchell to help solidify that nucleus.
So when you say get over the hump, obviously that means playoffs at this point. They were in the play-in tournament last year, 44 games. So how deep of a run do you think this team can make?
Well, I think one is dependent upon staying healthy, right? You have to stay healthy. And if we stay healthy, I think we got a chance to be in top 3 or 4 in this conference. I think we do. I think that when you add a player, a player like Donovan Mitchell, a guy that can get you a go-to bucket, a guy that you can go to down the stretch and has been there, has done it on a high level, at a playoff level, and not afraid of the moment. It's just a luxury. And then the other thing is here, the nucleus of this team is in its 20s, mid-20s. This is crazy. Nobody gets this.
So you talk about the nucleus of this team being in the 20s. I mean, there's a lot of young talent. You got a lot of young talent that's locked up. So could this thing be good for years to come?
You got a good 4 or 5 year run at it. I mean, you have to say that, okay, before you start looking at guys a little different. But, I mean, Cleveland's positioned itself in today's modern sports era, which is different than my era, in today's modern sports era, to put themselves in a position to make a long run here, a good, solid run. You may have to add a piece, subtract a piece, but it's not major tinkering here, right? You're going to see how it goes early on, and you're going to do another assessment of what this club looks like going forward.
Would it be a disappointment if they don't win a championship during this particular run?
Well, I would say, first and foremost, it's so hard to win a championship. So that's a high level. But I think that you want to be in the mix because at the end of the day, all factors have to come together for you to win a championship. So it's not necessarily the most talented team that wins. It's the most injury-free, the most locked in, the most hungry. Those ingredients all come about making you the best chance to win a championship.
You talk about Donovan Mitchell. We talk about the backcourt of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. What's that look like to you?
It looks like Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars to me. That's what it looks like to me. If you're a Piston fan, right? Being have the ability to have two that can play off one another, they can share the load, and then you'll learn as you get older in this league. I don't have to do all the work. Now, when Donovan Mitchell was on Utah, they had him doing everything. He was cooking the dinner, cleaning up the kitchen. He was doing everything. Being able to share it around and spread it around gives you longevity, less energy output, but allows you to conserve and be ready to go down the stretch. So your body doesn't break down as often because you don't have to carry and shoulder the load like some teams do with other players.
How's it look on the defensive end? It's a smaller backcourt.
Well, I'm not afraid of small backcourts. As long as you can get up into somebody. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell plays tough, right? You got cleanup guys like Jared Allen and Mobley in the back, so that's helpful, very helpful. I just think that it gives us a different look, a different shot. I mean, we got to a point last year we became stagnant because you had certain people on the floor that couldn't score.
Right.
And when they can't score, it becomes a problem, especially when you get to the playoff side of things. It's a problem.
So, come May, June, what are we going to say about the 2022-2023 Cavs?
Well, come May, June, we hope we're in the thick of things, right? So the first step is getting through the season healthy, playing at a high clip, and being enrolled into the playoffs. The next step for us is to go from play-in to actually play off and putting yourself in a position. You don't want to come in, look, I don't want to come in 7th, 8th place in the playoff. I want to be in a nice position where I have a good chance to get home court advantage for at least a round or two and have a chance to play. The thing about it is for us, I'm just excited that the youth and the nucleus of this team is at such an age that you can lock in these guys for some time. Some of them are locked in already in contract.
Right.
So we don't have to twiddle around with it. Let's just get to it.
So you played with Jordan. We see LeBron here. Can LeBron catch Jordan in terms of the quote-unquote GOAT, the greatest of all time?
Well, LeBron James has a body of work that I think is unquestionable.